know 6 of the departed teams who will seal their fate in Saturday's semifinals? No rats here, just loyal Prep Pigskin participants eager to push their agenda through to the championship round. 6 teams are shipping up to Stark County. 6 more are on their way. Find out who's joining the club as we initiate another Range Insurance High School Sports Site right now. It's wicked good.
And what a wicked weekend it has been for high school football. Hello to you, Ohio, the greatest football fans in the world. This is the Grange Insurance High School Sports Site. I'm Dan Franzak, joined alongside the usual cast of characters, JJ from JJ Huddle, and former captain of the Buckeyes, Jerry Rosinski. Let's get started, shall we, with tonight's marquee matchup, a Division I showdown from Dayton pairing the undefeated Pickerington Central Tigers and the 12-1 Elder Panthers. The Tigers ended the season as the second-ranked team in our ONN Ohio High Division I Power Poll. Elder, the top-ranked team in our D1 standings. It's tonight's marquee matchup from Dayton Welcome Stadium. A strong contingent of Central Tiger fans made the trip along I-70. Pick Central knows from their power football, and here's a sampling. Zach Bourne muscles his way for a first down, but the drive stalls. 34-yard field goal coming up there from Adam Caston. 3-0 Tigers. Panthers had possession, only one series in the first quarter. That ended with this interception. Pat White coming up with it. The Tigers capitalize. Jamie Wood, future Buckeye, up the middle and into the end zone. 10-0 Central. Elder finally gets on track. Mark Miller finds Tim O'Connor. Nice circus catch coming up right about here. Oh, yeah. Gets the bobble, pulls it in. That sets up this score coming up. Nick Gamke, he takes it in. 10-7 Central. Tigers get one more shot before the break. 4th and 7. Raymond rolls right, throws, incomplete, and we go to the break. Panthers take the first lead of the game. Ben Carfaro, 22 yards on the TD run. 14-10. Elder now leads. Panthers come right back on their next series. Miller finds Josh Jones. 65 yards on the touchdown pass. 21-10 Elder. That's 21 unanswered points. Zach Bourne, by the way, got hurt in the first half, was limited in the second half. Central tries to go to the air, but Elder going to get the sack there on Nick Raymond. That's Nick DeFinn and Corey Mason on the tackle, and Elder advances to play for their 3rd state title this decade alone, beating Pickerington Central 24-10 is your final. JJ, what an amazing comeback for Elder. I mean, you get that 10-0 lead, and it didn't look good for Elder, but they came back and they show why they're one of the best in the state tonight.
Well, they kept their composure. A lot of teams, you fall behind and that's pretty much it. That's all done. They kept their composure this whole game. They really disrupted the offense of Pickerington with Bourne out, and they more or less just kept fighting and fighting to get back into this game until they finally just took control in the second half.
Jerry, how much did Bourne's injury really hurt this team, not only offensively, but remember, defensively is kind of what he's been recruited for. He's a fantastic force on that side of the ball.
You get this late in the playoffs, you need a real physical player like a Zach Bourne, and I think what hurt him was, the fact that he's the guy that's getting key blocks. He's going to spring those big runs, so when he goes out of the game, it really shuts down that Pickerington Central offense there. And then on defense, it'd be like taking James Laurinaitis off the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, he's the guy out there that's going to fight off blocks. The offensive linemen are concerned whenever they go and attack him. So it's a big deal, and also it elevates the play of Elder. I don't care if you're in Division I or Division VI. When you say this guy's picking any Division I college he wants to go to, and he goes out, it makes it tough on you. It makes it tough on his team. It just helps your team in terms of confidence.
Kudos to Elder, but let's give props to Pickerington Central too. You mentioned Zach Bourne, one of those guys we're going to see at the next level. They have a great team this year.
They did, and we are going to see some of these players at the next level, which is it's all about. It's so enjoyable to see these players as they progress in college now. But both these teams are very good football teams. It was a shame that one had to lose, but that's what the playoffs are all about.
Jerry, JJ mentioned composure. How much does that factor into a championship team? We're seeing it from Elder and basically the rest of the teams that are up to this point.
Absolutely. When you have a team like Elder, you know you're going to get toughness out of them, and you also know you're going to get a lot of depth. I mean, they are a team that will just keep coming at you. They are so, plentiful in terms of their players, and they started in their youth programs. They got the fans up in the stands. I mean, the pit, it's just a big tradition. Yes. You're playing more than 11 players. You're playing a whole society of football,
A lot of purple.
Champions, yeah.
Well, ONN contributor Tim Bray has more now on our marquee matchup from the Gem City.
Dan, a very physical game here at Welcome Stadium in Dayton. The stars from both sides were hurt. Zach Bourne only played on defense in the second half for Pickerington Central. And Adam Brown, well, he got hurt in the first half, the 1,000-yard rusher for Elder. So it was one-dimensional football. And the junior quarterback for Elder took over the game.
Mark played really well again. He has all year long. I mean, you think about high school quarterbacks that complete 70% of their passes, and he played exceptional tonight. He made some big plays for us on third downs and with pressure.
Well, I'll tell you, they're very well coached. So you got two things: you get speed and you hit them. And I think we did both of that tonight. And and I hope their players heal up. I know they had a few guys go out, and they're playing for the state championship next week. I wish we were.
Yeah, I think it's huge. We're representing Cincinnati, Southwest Ohio, Region 4. We're just doing all we can to make the fans proud, and we're just playing for state right now.
So 7 of the last 8 years, a team from southwestern Ohio, and it's been a GCL team 6 of the 7 years, goes upstate. They'll play Cleveland St. Ignatius for the Division I championship. That's it from Welcome Stadium in Dayton. Now back to you.
You got it, Tim. You mentioned it, and here's the proof. St. Ignatius taking on Hoover. Cats coach Chuck Kyle 2 wins away from his 10th title, and this will help Andrew Holland connects with Brandon Carazoni, who takes it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Pat Hinkle finishes things off with a touchdown run. Cats just getting started. Holland back at it behind center, takes the snap, finds Connor Ryan. Long pass, and that's a touchdown. What an arm on that guy. Here's the replay. Beautiful tight spiral into the hands and into the end zone. Oh, he just hits the pylon. It counts. It's good. Iggy, good on special teams as well. They block the Hoover punt. Who is it? Henkel. Again, he recovers for the touchdown. 20-0. St. Ignatius leads in the first quarter. Hoover trying to get something going. They break off a nice run here in the second. Eric Howard goes 53 yards on the touchdown run. 20-7 at that point. But Iggy is quick to counter. It's Henkel again from 5 yards out. St. Ignatius just too much in this one. 34-7 is your final. All right, guys, so there we have it. It's Iggy and Elder in the Division I state championship game. Let's start with the Wildcats. And they lost their first game of the season, let's not forget, to Glenville, but they've got better and better as the seasons progress. They're going to be a tough team to beat.
Oh, they sure, and they already got a little revenge when they beat Glenville in the playoffs. They've only allowed 14 points during the playoffs. They almost look like a machine out there. If you check out their 3 quarters, they had more than doubled the yardage that North Canton Hoover had gotten in this game, like 338 to 153. I just have liked these guys since really the second week. They just seem to have gotten better week after week. Chuck Kyle has them peaking at the right time.
They look like the teams of old of the 90s, that's for sure. Jerry, this is going to be a classic North versus South battle.
Yeah, it sure is. And the Elder's passing game, I think, would be the key for Ignatius to stop. I think they can have success stopping the Elder running game, but when you look at what Miller's doing at quarterback, we heard Coach Ramsey talking about 70% completion rate. That's a scary thought. But that Ignatius defense, as J.J. alluded to, they're in the right spots. They're a complete football team. And guys, this didn't happen overnight. We were talking about this class when they were sophomores, and they got beat up a little bit. But the difference between this Ignatius team and some in years past is they respond well. They stay composed. They never really got hit in the mouth tonight, but they did against Glenville, and those guys just bounced back. And you know it's going to be a back-and-forth game there in Division I next week. And this is how you like to see it. 2 of the big boys, 2 of the giants just squaring off.
Jerry, you mentioned your key. JJ, what in your mind is going to be the key to this victory in Division I?
Oh, I think there's going to be a lot of really turnovers, penalties. You don't make mistakes in games like this. You can't afford to turn the ball over. And both these teams do not turn the ball over. Both of them take care of the ball, and they don't make a whole lot of mistakes. I think anybody makes too many turnovers, that'll be the big difference.
Oh, it's going to be a great one up there in Canton, that's for sure. All right, 2 down, 4 to go. Coming up next, the Division III state semifinals. Could we see a rematch of last year's D3 final between Licking Valley and Big Walnut? Not if Aurora and Eastmore have anything to say about it. Plus, could the defending state champs of Division V make it back to the big dance? Highlights from Marion local Liberty Benton forthcoming on the Grange Insurance High School Sports Site.